Good day to you. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Join me today while I try a new mulch on my garden plants. Join me as we mulch the container garden and my raised bed garden, and maybe a few pots along the way as well. I'm not normally a big mulcher. I really haven't in the past. I've never really liked a lot of the different mulches to use. Well, this year we're doing the container garden, as I've covered in other videos. Container gardens go through quite a bit more water. It can be tougher to keep these larger pots and such water during the day. So we want to mulch and help protect what we've got growing in them to hopefully reduce our water costs. This year I found a new mulch to give a try to. It's not a traditional one. And let me go ahead and grab it and give you a quick look. Now, what I'm trying this year is animal bedding. This is just shaved pine. It's a coarse shave. It's lightweight. It does kind of get a little more stable once it's watered in. The wind hasn't blown any of it away. I bought mine at Tractor Supply, but any of the big feed stores, you can find this type of animal bedding. I've really not liked wood chip mulch and this mulch and that mulch. I've been actually very, very happy with this pine shaving mulch. Well, okay, animal bedding. And what we're going to do is we're going to put about 1 to 2 inches across the plants. I do have drip in here already, and you see I'm just going to cover over the drip line, and we'll get you more photos here as we work our way down. Now, I've already done some of my garden, and the water retention actually has been extremely well with this. Since this is lighter, it does reflect some of the light back from the sun. We've been getting lately into the 90s. And we're going to kind of, our basil plants are small here, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put some up here on the side. And like I said, we'll show some other plants here that we need to get done. And what will happen is these are dry on top. You can see the areas where the drip has been getting things. But what will happen is with these plants mulched, the moisture that I'm putting in will get wicked up to these other soil surface areas that the drip isn't, because we are not evaporating as much water. And yesterday I picked up another bag of this because I figured if I didn't, we were going to run out in the middle of the video. And now our plants here and our basil and our tomatoes will get even happier. Now where this becomes more critical is the smaller your pot gets. I've got some eggplant here. It might be hard to see on the camera, but it's in a 5-gallon grow bag. So we don't want this drying out. Here, when we get up to 110 degrees during a summer heat wave, I'll probably have to come out here and turn the water on multiple times during the day. We want to come along We'll just get this mulching up around. Now you don't want to put it right up against the trunk, you don't have to pack it in there. But I've been happy so far with this mulch. Like I said, I haven't liked the other mulches. This seems like it's going to be easier to deal with this at the end of the season. We may be able to save a whole bunch of it. Most of our rain comes during the winter time, so we will have this stuff break down most likely during the winter time. The big wood chip mulches that I've used before, they don't break down fast enough. And now I've got to deal with a mulch that's contaminated with soil in it if I go moving it out of the way. And I never know what I'm going to do with gardening, so I churn up my raised beds, and then the mulch ends up getting buried in it. And I don't know, it just never has made me happy. I've tried pine bark mulch, and pine bark, it's a big mulch as well. It does hold in the moisture nicely. But the big problem with it is the bark gives you real fine slivers. And you don't want that. It's not fun trying to pick them out of you. Pine straw, it's not a big thing to get in my area, so I haven't really worked much with it. And then, of course, the common in my area that you can find is straw and cut straw. Well, those would be great mulches. I found this was easier for me to get, although the straw is easy for me to get as well, but this was much more convenient. But the issue with straw is I'm allergic to it. And when you're allergic to something, you don't exactly want to mulch with it. It really can take the fun out of gardening. Now you are going to notice, and the mulch will help with this, that a lot of my plants here that you're seeing are kind of upset. They got planted, and then we got a little mini heat wave. So they're giving their dismay and having a hard time getting established. If something goes wrong, I'm not too worried about it. I got backups. I'm going to put a little bit into this one here, then I'm going to steal it. The nice thing with this container garden is, since I've got weed cloth down, I can actually take a broom and come through here and sweep up my mess when I'm done. You'll notice too that before I mulch, I actually got the drip all done and got it online. My watering it's taking so long that I had to get drip installed this year. I've already mulched our potatoes, otherwise I'd show you our potatoes, but they were suffering big time because of watering. And well, I'm an underwaterer, so it's important for me to get things into drip and make sure that I get these pots saturated. Yeah, it's really nice. The stuff spreads around really easily. I'll just kind of get it up there into the plants. We're a little thin here. But like I said earlier, a couple inches. There's nothing to say that as the season progresses and the plants get bigger, you can come back through, see how wet your soil's getting, and if the plants are showing issues with the fact that you put a little bit too thin a mulch on, you can come through and add another layer. Certainly no harm in that. And we're getting down the camera a little bit on you here. But we're rinse and repeating. I'm just going to drop a whole bunch in the tomato plant here. You're making a mess. I really should be a little better here. But I'm just going to steal what I just put in here with the tomatoes and get my little eggplant over here. Nicely mulched in. Now, this may be your first time here, and as an example, I'm in zone 8B, and what's unique about our area here is there's this fight that happens between the marine influence and the land. So what happens is we actually get up to 50-degree temperature swings during the summertime. So like today, we were down at 52, and we're not going to be as bad today, but we're going to be 92 today. So we're going to go for a 40-degree swing. So you'll be here, and you seem like you get everything watered, the plants will be fine, and then it slowly builds up through the day, and we see the heat coming, and then the wind can come up and really just start drying things out. So, what ends up happening is over California, it will heat up in the Central Valley and in the deserts. And that forms what's known as a thermal low. And it pulls in after it heats up during the day. In the evening, it starts pulling in the ocean air. And it, for us, can take most of the night for it to really get pulled in, because we have 2,000 and 3,000 foot mountains between us and the ocean. And mind you, as the crow flies, we're only 30 miles to 50 miles from the ocean. And the wind comes through the low spots in the mountains as the ocean air pulls in. So we have a low spot near us. So we're actually the cooler part of town in that respect. But then also we pull down cool air coming from Monterey, which is about 2 hours from us. And it slowly kills off or cools off our area. And we do have low clouds that do come in at times during the summer. I actually like to make use of that. There we go. We don't want to bury our leaf here for that. And let's finish off this row here for you. And then we've got some pepper plants to do here that are going to be very happy here that we're going to get them mulched off. They've had a rough time getting transplanted. My biggest fear when I first picked up this mulch to give it a try was that our afternoon wind was going to blow it away. So I did our potatoes and I did a whole bunch of stuff in our front yard. And the wind has been leaving it alone. It kind of settles down. You know, it doesn't compact. It settles. And so as you can see, I'm just piling it in here. My idea of mulching in the past, actually, I'd just densely pack plants in the garden, and that would end up shading over the soil. I'm trying to be careful in the container gardening not to do something like that. Now, as these plants, since they're so close together, they're going to form shade. But until then, we got to get these things mulched. Yeah, we've got some 5-gallon grow bags here. And let's get these peppers done. There were studies done a long time ago that if you put down red mulch around tomato plants, the reflected red light actually increased your tomato production by about 10, maybe 15%. I wanted to get this mulching done this morning before I do my morning watering here, because I want to make sure that I don't cause any problems. And after we finish up with this one real quick here, I'm going to move you over to our raised bed that needs mulch. Our beans have come up and I've waited a little bit too long. So we're going to see how much fun we're going to have there. Great, that's done. Let's go ahead and stroll over to the bean garden. Well, welcome over to our bean patch. If you caught one of my earlier videos, we planted 3 varieties of beans here. And they're planted in a 3-foot wide by 6-foot long bed. Drip has already been laid in this bed. As you can tell, the drip is doing well. So we need to get this mulch into this bed. Nice thing is you just pour it over the plants and brush them off. But these plants are starting to get big enough now that we got to get this mulch on here. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult endeavor. And this will really, really help keep moisture in this bed. We'll just get it all brushed in there. Now the drip lines here are 1/4 inch, 1/2 gallon an hour, spaced every 6 inches. And there's 4 lines of it in this bed. The irony is, because we're doing container garden this year, because I'm supposed to be tearing out these beds to put new ones in, we actually have more growing this year than we do if we just use these beds. because, let me tell you, I really don't know moderation. Now, this big mass here to my right, this is our 4 o'clocks. This is supposed to be a trellis right here, but it more is a block to keep the 4 o'clocks where they belong. We just wanted to plant them one year and have them in the garden in one of the garden beds, and as it turns out, they took up permanent residence. Apparently they like our environment, and they said that this is going to be our home, and they've been in that bed there for years. They come back every year on their own, and I'm trying to keep them under control this year, so I haven't been watering them. I don't know if it's working or not. But we're gonna be opening up another bag here soon. Kind of get it down between the rows. This is where I figured I'd be running out of mulch. Well, I went and bought another bag before doing this video. The ground outside the bed is still damp. I've been using soaker hoses, and because of the design we're going to do with the new garden beds, I'll be able to pull this drip out and use it in the new garden beds. I might have to trim some of it down a little bit, but that's okay. You can see we're starting to look fancy here. We don't follow planting directions on beans. We plant them typically in rows like this, and we just space them every inch or two. As you can tell, there's empty spots. That's usually because of our friends, the birds. Okay, let's see here if I can get the rest of this out of here real quick. And we'll get this. That's empty. We won't bore you with the details of that bag. We dumped a little bit of mulch here on the outside. We'll get it tossed in. Let's go ahead and unbury our beans here. As you can see, we're just about done. Let's pull up our new arrival here. Okay. This is 10 cubic feet. It runs a little under, I think 12 or 15 bucks, something like that at Tractor Supply. It really does seem to fluff up well. This will also help when we get the chickweed and some other weeds here. This should hopefully keep down some of the weeds. And I want to take you past our grape jungle here. Stay tuned for the jungle video. Yeah, we just want to get this done real quick for you here. And there we have it. One nice mulch bed. And you can see here, here's the mulching that we did. We have it all nicely mulched in. And this will help the beans grow better. It'll keep a lot of the moisture and hopefully reduce the watering costs a little bit. And now I just want to show you, before we go, the mulching that I was doing a little bit at a distance here. And these are the containers that I mulched up. And I want to thank you for joining today. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content. And if I've done my job, YouTube is going to recommend a video for you. Thank you for watching.